like to call myself the old cheerleader of Douglas.
Gracias.
Basically, I'm a volunteer, trying to point out to people that we have an amazing community. We really do. When I do a tour, I like to show people who we are. I like to show them the Gadsden Hotel, because you look at it from the outside and you're like, so. Then you walk in and the magic happens.
It was really established because of the copper industry, you know, and this was the place to be, and we just really want to recreate that again for everyone. We had heard that they were going to close the hotel. The owner had passed away, they couldn't find a buyer, and the rumors around town were that they were really going to close it. This truly is a labor of love, and I will tell you, it is worth every day of it. We decided to take a leap of faith and make an offer on the building, and they accepted it, and here we are.
Church Square, the 4 churches that are on this block over here in front of us, you have the Baptist Church, you've got the Presbyterian Church, the Episcopalian Church, and the Methodist Church, all in one block. It was planned that way. When they were designing the city, when they were designing Douglas, that was planned. Douglas has extremely wide streets. The criteria was 20 mules. 20 mules had to be able to make a turn in Douglas. So that's how wide a street had to be. And I thought, okay. So there's a lot of little quirky things that are kind of fun and just amazing about Douglas. There's a new art group coming in, and there's all kinds of ways to express art.
Art Car World is a vision of a gentleman named Herod Blank. He's a filmmaker, and his passion has been folk art, and in this case, automotive art. Herod had a long relationship with friends from Bisbee. And in terms of choosing Douglas as a place to come, folks had recommended it because it had several buildings which he could afford to purchase. So it really was a real estate issue rather than any other.
El Chapo's tunnel, you know, people are like, when that was discovered, I remember being in Douglas and all of a sudden there was helicopters everywhere, you know, and it was like this invasion of helicopters, but it was the media.
You're inside the warehouse that housed the exit of Chapo Guzman's first drug tunnel. And it's significant because he made lots of tunnels, and this is his first one. And he started this in '89, and it was found, busted by DEA in May of 1990. And this grate that's down to my right here on the ground is where it came up on the US side, and it started in Agua Prieta, 330 feet the other south of here. There, the access to the tunnel was underneath a pool table that was on hydraulic lifts. To me, it was a benchmark because Douglas smelter closed in 1987. And that was what provided about a $10 million payroll and 345 jobs here. When that closed, it left this horrendous vacuum, obviously, in here. Well, Chapo came to town in late '89, and that all changed. It was such an influx of money. It just changed Agua Prieta forever. I saw documents that indicated estimates, DE estimates, they estimated it was over 70 tons of cocaine came through this hole right next to me here.
So it's an intriguing time of Douglas's history. But it doesn't say who we are. It's just a piece of it. It doesn't define us. It's just a piece of our history. So, you know, we can either make lemonade out of it or keep it as a lemon. When you think about it, like my family has roots that came all the way from 1906. That's my dad's side of the family. 1906 they arrived. We're not even a state. My mother's side of the family came in 1917. We have roots that go way back. We have family over there. We have family over here. You know, it isn't like all of a sudden it's them and us. It's so still we are we. We're we's here. This was done by the Memorial Committee, and they did it all on their own. The Memorial Park has the names of everybody who was killed in action. I volunteer because I believe strongly that you have to give back to your community. And I don't do anything, I don't give anything of my time unless I have passion. And it was just like a YMCA across the nation.
I have been very, very supportive, not only of Jenny Jordan, because she's a great ambassador of our community, but I believe that tourism is one of the major things that Douglas has to offer. We have a lot, it's just that sometimes we don't open up our eyes and our ears to see what's going on.
You know, people will tell me, oh, Douglas is so boring, and I go, God, I'd give a day to be bored. I've never been bored. You know, I just don't know what it's like to be bored.
How long are you going to be doing this?
Till I get a new residence on 3rd Street. Do you know what 3rd Street is? That's where the cemetery is.